The grand finals of the Lamborghini Open begin now with Team EnVy and NRG. Both had one heck of a gauntlet to fight through, Corelli, to get here. And they've met up quite a few times this season, and it's just another match on the rung. This one, the most important.
And not the first time we've seen them in a grand final here for one of these regionals. Back in winter, it was EnVy to take it over NRG in 7 games, in which every single game aside from the first was a 1-goal game. This is going to be a close match, Jorby.
Would not be surprised to see 1-goal games the whole way through. Yeah, Team EnVy, as a team, they got ones across the leaderboards in score per game, goals per game, and assists per game. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know about this team and how they click as a unit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why they've been so strong, and for EnVy, there's a reason why they call them the Machine, as they have been so consistent on both sides of the field, honestly, and they've been so consistent here in RLCS X. It's just another opportunity for them to prove that consistency here as they find themselves in the opposition's box.
Missed. Catching that one out. Didn't work out the way he hoped. He's happy he didn't just give it straight back to Justin. And Garrett will kick it right back down to the corner. And Turbo will give that one back to Atomic, so EnVy won't even have to sweat on defense at all. They fight for midfield. Missed actually getting by Squishy. Justin hopped up. Turbo's shot denied by Garrett.
Don't want to give EnVy space. Something that we talk about with them all the time is those lateral passes. They are so good at finding each other on the ground in the final third or in the air. They always have a plan with the ball. And the same could be said for NRG, but that offense has been so strong for EnVy. And for NRG, they are really going to have to field a lot of these passes and stay a step ahead of EnVy.
But I think if you're out there as an NRG fan, you're feeling pretty good about your chances against EnVy, especially with how Squishy has looked today. Where in previous regionals, not exactly the star on the team, really taking a backseat role. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but he has found the net a lot this weekend. And today in particular, he's looked solid. They're probably going to need him. Missed that shot denied by Garrett, who has been doing work on defense early.
Oh my.
And Justin gets by, but Turbo able to throw it back to the corner.
Odd to see EnVy commit so hard on that play, and everyone was inside the box on the NRG side, and I think EnVy kind of lucked out that NRG couldn't capitalize. That's a great demo on Turbo. Atomic was looking for the pass, and we stay scoreless. Or maybe goes only for the moment. That one's going to climb in from Justin, and NRG draw first blood.
A little bit of style on the dunk from Justin. Read that perfectly from Mist, and that's all you need off the corner.
And he'll take it. And for Mix, I just don't think he expected Justin to challenge like that, or at least Justin have that good of a read on him. I think he's maybe a bit fortunate that one found the net, as it did come off the inside of the frame. But still good work from NRG. They're going to need goals like that. And for EnVy now, they've got half a game to make the difference.
Nice pinch from Atomic. Turbo's already downfield. Got the touch. Now NRG got a scramble, and they do. Garrett happy that his teammates could dive in front. Justin next up in the corner, and NRG get out again. Might even get some pressure here with Justin, but Atomic kicks it up above him.
And something you notice already with NRG is on defense, there's a lot of space in the midfield. They've been able to push it by EnVy and free up that space. Here it is again. A lot of space past the midfield line for NRG to play with. EnVy not doing a good job of slowing down NRG on the transition.
They did get a transition themselves here, and Atomic gonna make the most of it with Mist, but Squishy grabs the rebound before he can get there, and Atomic tries to swoop in. Garrett will get the clear out, so a push that looked promising from EnVy is sent back to the blue half. Oh, Squishy cutting off the angle again, preventing EnVy from being able to transition out, and they're being squeezed out again here. Garrett, or excuse me, it was, Garrett on the demo, and Mist will actually carry it out here for EnVy.
For that dunk too. He had options with Atomic to his right, but here they are again. That one's going to be a bit heavy for Turbo Pulsar to make up for, and this one comes back down to Atomic. Dangerous spot. He doesn't actually make contact on the ball. He's looking for help. Mist trying to get involved. We'll find a little bit of space. Mist again to the back wall, looking for Garrett to bump out of the way. Can't get it, and NRG get out once again.
Atomic at least slows NRG's pace down and allows Turbo, and almost made the connection with Mist. Atomic tried to stop them again, but now Justin's got control. Turbo again on the back wall. Has to keep this ball away from Squishy, and just gave it back to Mist. Atomic gets it back downfield. Mist flips in front, but can't get the ball away from Justin.
So far, NRG have held EnVy to 0 shots. EnVy usually averaged just under 9 in a game. Whew. And it's been very tough for EnVy to put something on frame, even with the offense that they've had. NRG have prevented it all the way through.
Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like there was a couple of clean transitions from EnVy. I'm surprised to see 0.
Nothing to show for it. And that bodes well for NRG if they can hold on here.
You know, typically we're talking about, off the crossbar and no goal. Turbo gets up, Atomic got the bump, but no goal is had, and Squishy got the ball. Mist turns right back around, takes the ball away. NRG, though, they're just here to waste time. Another challenge in midfield. EnVy might get a push. Mist makes him think that he's going to go for it. Now Atomic gets a shot. Justin picks up the save, but it's high in front of the box. Turbo's up for it.
Turbo.
Atomic screens across, but NRG take the game.
Oh, man, and a shame that Turbo couldn't connect on that pass. He was trying to get it past the players diving after it in NRG, but he couldn't take the shot immediately. It was going to be blocked, so he's waiting for that opening to come through, and it never came, so he had to let it drop. And for NRG, they get a little dunk goal, and they're able to hang on here in game 1.
Well, I think we've said it right at the end, but EnVy need to find a way to get more shots on net, Corelli. Yeah. I mean, they got 2 at the end, but they weren't really ones that made NRG sweat too much. But NRG so clean down the field, and they're also extremely physical in this game. I don't know if we really mentioned it a lot or not, but they're always trying to chip EnVy off the ball. They'll get a demo if they see it that is favorable, and while it's not always right in the heat of the play, it's enough to stymie EnVy's rotation to give NRG more time and space.
Yeah, and NRG, they took advantage of a lot of space afforded to him here. And that was something that I pointed out that I don't think NRG took full advantage of, but something that they certainly took note of here in this game. That midfield for EnVy, they were very anxious to move into the final third, and the midfield opened up behind them. NRG were able to find a lot of space there. They didn't capitalize on it here, but you got to look out for that if you're EnVy.
Well, how do EnVy close that gap beyond midfield and start to control the pace of the game? Right now, well, Justin all over the ball, and Atomic's forced back into the corner. Up for control against Squishy, and this might be the start of an EnVy push that they need. They weren't able to generate a shot on net until the waning seconds on Manfield Night. We'll push through again. Justin swoops under 1, and there's going to be a shot for Garrett. He whips it over Turbo. Atomic able to play it back out across the box, and NRG looking like vultures out here in the blue half.
I love to see Garrett. After that play, even after it fizzled out, he was rotating through the EnVy defense, looking for players to eliminate on the transition, to take away options for EnVy, even when they don't have the chance on net anymore. And he did steal away the corner boost as well. So for EnVy, that attack just slows down that much more, knowing you have Garrett chasing after you.
Garrett screened in front, can't get the bump on the Turbo, just going to come back out, get back into the rotation. EnVy still struggling to find some consistent possession. Midfield is contested at every step. NRG get back to the blue corner again, though that's proving tougher and tougher to force in front of the box, and Mist rips a shot. Garrett picks up the next save. Mist dumps it down for Atomic, and now EnVy start to push, but can they keep it going? Turbo gonna beat Squishy back to the ball, and Turbo still forcing the ball forward.
Man.
Tuck forward, Turbo, Pulsa, flex your guns!
Being huge in front of the ball for Turbo, and he had no boost the whole time. A great challenge against Squishy, and another one against Garrett, using that wide dominus to just block the clear, and then having some help from Mist to come through. EnVy get on the board.
Just takes a couple of nice challenges from Turbo Pulsa, and EnVy are right back in it. But with how NRG have looked on offense in this game, EnVy are going to have to play more of that stellar defense in order to keep them back, because I'm not sure they're done.
And I don't even think we're seeing the peak offense from EnVy right now, because a lot of those passes are coming from the inside of the field out instead of outside towards the center of the box. And that's what's slowing down a lot of EnVy's chances, is NRG don't have to work that hard because the passes are just going wide.
Yeah, and even when they do contest in the corner, in the orange corner, they're always kind of rotating out, so they're never actually in position to take advantage of it. But they're starting to find a little bit more space. It is in heavy traffic, mind you, but they weren't getting any sort of leeway like this on Manfield Night, and this is going to be popped up by Atomic, and they might get another push here. But now it's NRG being forced to play some extended defense in the orange half.
That's a good little poke from Justin. Squishy, he lets it go, and it drops in front of the net. Atomic can easily control it. He gets some help from Mist to challenge in the midfield. Turbo just wants a shot on target. Mist, can he flick it on? And Justin was there to make the save. Another shot denied. Is this one in for Squishy? It's going to just roll across the field, and NRG tie it up with a dunk.
EnVy get caught out. Like you said, Atomic, red, yesterday by Squishy. He had it perfect and lined up, and NRG are back in it just like that. After what was starting to turn into a scary situation for NRG, EnVy really wanted to get that second goal.
Yeah, and again, it feels like EnVy are really anxious to move downfield. I said that in the first game, and it's very apparent here where they are sending a lot of bodies. It's almost similar to what Oxygen does on offense, where it just feels like if we could throw enough people at the ball, eventually something will work out because we have the mechanics to do so. And I don't think that's how EnVy normally plays. That's not where they have the success.
No, they kind of started out that way too, and I hesitate to say that it's purely a product of how NRG started the game, although maybe that is a lot of it. Either way, you definitely expect a healthier transition game out of the blue half from EnVy. And on Forbidden Temple, it's been a return to form, if you will. But NRG are starting to grab more control of the ball after that goal from Squishy. Justin tried to force it through, and there's a lot of time here in the corner for Atomic, and he'll flip it right by Squishy.
And there is a lot of credit to give to the NRG defense as well. I mean, they've already made 8 saves in this game alone. So they're feeling the pressure on the 9 shots of EnVy, and can Atomic get a piece of it, it'll be cleared away. And everyone's staying back for EnVy. Squishy tried to cut Turbo. It's not going to happen. Atomic whips around, lets it go for a miss. The shot comes through. Justin to turn it away. Turbo's trying to salvage it, and NRG slow it down.
The speed from Garrett all over the pitch. You're actually seeing this on both sides, where if one player doesn't necessarily have a shot on the ball, hang on a second, Squishy has to grab a quick save, and Turbo's got next look at the ball. All he could get is a quick touch off the ceiling, and Atomic just wants to keep it away from NRG. But try as he may, well, Garrett actually just gave it back, and Squishy picks up another save. Stalwart on defense, NRG picking up a ton of saves. They're going to have to get a couple more as Turbo throws it back over the corner. Missed. Shot on target. Squishy takes another save. That's his 6th already. Taken off by Garrett. Shot by Turbo. It's too much. EnVy drown NRG in offense.
16 shots for EnVy here, and you hit the nail on the head. They are suffocating here on defense. EnVy all over them. And what we didn't see from game 1, we're seeing now from EnVy. The relentlessness on offense paying off, and they break through.
Missed already on the kickoff. Like to end this game right here and tie it all up. Squishy. He's got ideas though, and Atomic gonna cut off that pass. He had Garrett on the wing. Couldn't really connect with it. Garrett now on the side wall. Justin's got him, but Garrett can't make the connection.
10 seconds for Justin to make the difference, and he certainly can here. Had a bit of boost. We'll get under Turbo, and a good challenge for him might pay off. He needs help from Squishy. As he's got 20 boost to flick into the midfield. Miss will kill it, and EnVy will tie up the series.
NRG had to withstand a machine gun level of pressure from Team EnVy, and it was too much. And Squishy, no matter how many saves he could make, I mean, look at the saves. You have 13 of them coming out, 6 of them from Squishy, 4 from Garrett, and EnVy just would not stop. NRG couldn't keep the ball close to them. They couldn't get the ball away from EnVy, and when they did, they couldn't follow it up quick enough to really punish EnVy for it. So that was a really good return to form again from EnVy on defense, but also on offense.
And that last goal from EnVy is something to pay attention to, because that is the offense that you're going to see from EnVy when they're clicking. And you can see what happens to any defense, even some of the best defense here in North America. You got NRG, and they're just being sent through the spin cycle, right? Players are being moved out for the center and pushed out to the side, and you can see the net open up for EnVy. That many shots, it's tough to feel. You start to run out of boost, you get out of position, you're floating in the air after the last shot. It's a lot of chaos that is driven from those shots, and that's where EnVy takes advantage of the opposition. So for NRG, the 4 or 5 shots they generated in the last game, it's just not enough. They played too much defense. You can't give that much leeway to EnVy.
I know we've been using the word chaos a lot in the Lamborghini Open, but it just feels like that's the kind of energy that's been channeled. And like just to further up on that point, it's like both of these teams, even if they don't have a chance at the ball, they're just screening in front in midair. I've watched Garrett do it a couple times now, where he's just trying to get a bump on net or make you think that he's going to go for a bump or get the ball, but the real play is behind him. And you see Turbo do the same thing, and it's crazy to watch that chaos unfold and who actually cracks in that situation.
Yeah, players and teams doing a good job of hiding the cards that they hold and what they want to do with the ball. And these two teams are actually very, very good at it. especially on the communication front, letting balls drop when a player's already up for the next man to come through on the ground. That is a play that you've seen many times already. So that communication is a huge factor when it comes to matchups like this.
It's all about the response from NRG now after the performance from EnVy on Forbidden Temple. But they've had plenty of offense. Garrett peps
here
it
it
up.
is.
Atomics missed it, and Garrett G does it! Oh!
Used everything in the tank. He looks like he only had about 50-something boost in the tank. Gets up and just drops it behind Atomic, and that was tough for Atomic. He didn't get the initial touch. He's dead to rights after that. NRG were going to crash the net if it came off the back wall either way. And NRG, they strike first.
Justin grabs the ball on the kickoff. Flip reset available. He'll use it back over. They got the bump. Was hoping for Garrett. And Squishy wins a nice challenge in front. Missed diving back, but Turbo also committed. He's going to be slow to Garrett. Off the back wall, missed. Not a lot of pressure immediately, but Garrett again coming across. Turbo last man back, but Atomic actually gets back. And so he'll get the push out.
And you're seeing NRG now really pick up the pace. Garrett going for bumps, and EnVy are being boost starved. That's why the last moment there missed. He didn't just immediately push out because he had no boost. Now it's getting a bit scary here as Garrett comes off the back wall. NRG are looking threatening in this game.
Shot on, off the post and in, no! Mist picks up the save, and Atomic races down the pitch on the transition. 1, 2, but saved by Squishy. 2 committed from NRG. Picked up again here by Mist. Bound to Purple Pulsa, he connected, but again, 2 committed on NRG. Garrett G, credit for the save. Mist in front, but Justin gets down to Squishy, and somehow NRG survive.
Oh, man. And just when they had EnVy on the goal line as well, that ball 90% in. NRG then had to play a lot of defense, but here comes Purple Pulsa again. Didn't get the redirect. Still dangerous here as Mist trying to find some space on the wall. Has no more boost to work with, and that might end the attack here for EnVy as Turbo will pick it back up. He's going to get a second touch here, looking for help. And Atomic, he's got Mist at the top of the box. Over to Mist. It's too high. Looking for one more, and nobody from EnVy there, and cleared away by NRG.
So many times you can count on Mist to nail that shot every time. Just as long as you get him in a position to make contact. But he just couldn't get enough power, and it was too high anyway. Now he takes over here. Squishy gets the next challenge, and EnVy will try again here on offense. Next up here, Justin. Another demo from Atomic on Garrett G. Squishy knows it, gonna buy some time. Flips it over Turbo. And a scrum was about to manifest there in the corner, but Garrett G finally gets it out. Shakes Atomic off the ball, and NRG excellent on defense. Garrett, 1 touch. Does he get the second? Not before Atomic gets there. It's back out to the corner, but NRG aren't done in the blue half. As Turbo looks for another clear, but he's denied by Justin. Turbo doing a lot of work here on the back wall. Finally, they're able to break out.
And Garrett, again, getting more and more demos. And I pointed out the first game, and he's still going after these EnVy defenders, and it's paid off. There's been a lot of space afforded to the next man behind him, as he has just been a bulldozer here in this game. And for NRG, better for it, as they're still sitting up by 1.
Squishy kills the ball in the third, and Justin's next up. NRG would love some heavy insurance. At the tail end of this game, Garrett shot a little wide, and both Justin and Squishy are back. Atomic knows it. Ground hop air dribble taken away by Justin. Turbo is a little close up, and he's going to let that ball drop right back down to Mist.
Mist sneaking under Justin, and he had another player go. Squishy, excuse me, on the NRG side, but it was a good challenge to slow it down. Another pass down to Atomic. Even in these tight lanes, EnVy still finding each other, and that's a shame. He couldn't hold on to it. Here comes Garrett now, off the back wall. Squishy's got some space, takes the first touch, and unfortunately too hard. That one cleared away.
EnVy happy for the fortune, but they got to push down the field. In the waning seconds, as Mist pushes the ball back downfield. Justin plays it back out around to the corner. Happy to kill more time on the clock, but EnVy, one last push from Mist, flips it over Garrett. Next up is Justin, but Garrett will take it back over to the opposite corner. Turbo stretching across, right back down. Justin is there, forces Atomic forward, and NRG will take the lead in the set.
That was almost big brain from Atomic. He was waiting just to see if he could get one more hop before time expired to get under that ball. You could see him turn into it, but he just miscalculated by like a millisecond to get back to it. That was going to be so smart from Atomic. He might have ended up being dunked either way, but still for NRG to come out on top here is a huge testament to their defense, especially where EnVy, again, are held to 6 shots, which is below average for EnVy. I think that's a good amount of shots, but they didn't even put up any shots for the first minute and a half of this game. And so for NRG, the defense and the midfield pressure, it's turned up a little bit and it's working right now. And this, I think, is the key to success for NRG if they're going to win this series.
The silver lining for EnVy, I would say, is that at least it wasn't Manfield, where you only had 2 shots in the final 5 seconds of the game. So while 6 might be under your average, you are up against a juggernaut in NRG. Yeah. So we'll see what happens as we go back down onto Utopia Coliseum for Game 4. Now, this has the makings of a 7-game set the way it's gone. We'll see how the cards fall, but right now it's been an electric series.
I mean, there's only been, 5 goals scored in 3 games? So for NRG and for EnVy, I mean, that is very low, especially all of them being 1-goal games. So you can see when 2 juggernauts of a region go up against each other, it's the little things that matter. And right now, Squishy trying to make sure he can get through. Will be stopped by Atomic.
Cool dunk from Atomic. Force Squishy back into the corner. And Squishy's challenges, more so his carries, Squishy in general, has just had so many high-value touches, high-value pushes for NRG on defense. It can't be understated. Now, back on offense. Squishy underneath. Can't force the ball in. Saved by Atomic. Garrett slowing it back down, but EnVy stops Squishy in his tracks.
It's a good attempt from Squishy, but still the defense holding on here for EnVy as they're trying to find each other out. But another dunk. This one's going to go just high. How many times is EnVy going to be dunked here in this game? That just leads to a dangerous opportunity for NRG.
They're going to have to stop Squishy again here off the ceiling, pushing it forward. Squishy's got the boost and taken away by Atomic. Turbo gets in front before Justin can get the shot. NRG and Garrett, Turbo Pulsa all over it. And Atomic got the transition. Justin picks up the save. Somehow NRG are ready for these quick EnVy transitions. No matter how hard they hit the ball, somebody is there for the rotation. But now Atomic's got a clear net. If he can get back behind the ball, it's too far. He got the shot. Atomic, no problem.
Great work from Atomic, being patient on that. I'm sure he's getting a lot of call out from his teammates. He had some time. Justin was behind him, but he even could have taken longer if he wanted to. And a good angle to put it away. And for NRG, overcommitted and a good challenge from the midfield prevented them from getting back in time. EnVy getting on the board first here as they win the kickoff.
It's just Turbo Pulsa was all over that back wall. And no matter how NRG tried to test it, he found a way to get in their way and just made life miserable for NRG on offense. Ooh. Tommy's life was almost miserable there.
Well, you talked about it, Jorby. You brought up that physical game, and you can see Justin, he had no thought about going for the ball there. It was all Atomic that he wanted, and that slowed Atomic down. And that's important, especially in an opportunity for Atomic to pop that ball into the air. You know how dangerous he can be. And Garrett's doing the same thing, running through players on their defensive side and making sure that if you're going to sit on the goal line, you better respect me coming after you.
No, I can't imagine how it feels in the lobby right now when you know all 6 players, they're gunning for, they're headhunting at any time that they can. Any way to give them an advantage against you. Mist, throw it up, and Turbo's shot will be denied. NRG have a breakaway. Atomic last back. Mist will spawn as well. And EnVy back to full strength here on defense.
4 shots apiece for these teams. EnVy, the only one to find the back of the net. Maybe twice now. Garrett, tough save. Turbo Pulsa hits a rocket at him, and Justin will just throw it downfield. Gives it up to Mist. A little back and forth here at the midfield line. Nobody really holding on to possession.
Atomic. Well, no chance for him there. Seems like you lose that challenge in midfield, and the whole team has to rotate back. There's just no chance to try to contest or push forward because you know that next touch is going to be rocketed at the net or the back wall, and you have to respect it. But EnVy, they're hanging on to this 1-goal lead. Atomic wants a second one. 1 touch, 2 touches, but too wide, and Squishy will get right back in front.
And NRG, they're being very patient on defense right now, and it was something that we mentioned earlier on as well, is they have to be a step ahead of what EnVy are doing, especially on those passing plays, and NRG have done that here in this game. They've been able to read the passes, as Atomic, he's not passing that one. It is given away to the midfield.
Garrett waited, and he's rewarded with the ball. Garrett can't get the dunk against Miss. Justin quickly, but can't beat Turbo to the ball. Turbo's miss. Well, he'll just get it right back. Get out of the way, Squishy. I'm giving the ball back to Miss. And Miss will just jet towards the net, but Justin's there.
Time ticking down for NRG. It's certainly not one you want to give up. You don't want to make... I mean, if you're NRG, you're leading in this series. You don't want to drag it out. With 40 seconds left. EnVy looking for two. Atomic, can he do it all the way? As Squishy is able to jump on that one. And a quick transition downfield. It's Garrett, he's going to need some possession here to get by Miss. And good defense from Miss. Now Atomic beats the next man. It's just Squishy. It's Atomic. He's got no options to the far side, and Garrett will pick it up.
Garrett was able to flip it up, and Miss calls Atomic off. Miss got plenty of boost underneath, but Garrett will get the save. There's no more time for NRG. They can't spend all of it in the orange half. They got to get back to the blue. Here's a good clear. At least an attempt. The Turbo will force Justin lateral. Justin kicks it hard up. Missed, forced into a tough situation. Atomic gets around Justin, and Squishy got a little bit of boost, pops it up. Oh, can't get over Miss, but Garrett's there.
Still dangerous.
Here's the back wall. Garrett can't get it to the ramp, and EnVy will tie the match up.
Garrett was trying to get it up the ramp there. Smart play, especially when he didn't have a lot of options, but still EnVy another one-goal game, and it's a 1-0 game as well for EnVy holding on. They were still generating a lot of good offense, but only one chance will fall for them here. And I gotta say, even with NRG being held scoreless here, they had a lot of opportunity to do so. You think back to the Squishy dribble where he had a lot of run-up to judge what he wanted to do. They also had a couple passing plays that they could have converted. So this game, not without chances for NRG, just unable to convert.
It feels like it's so hard to change the pace of the game, though, even when you do get those breakaways, because they've been so far and few between, that Squishy does get that little bit of ramp, but he feels like he has to execute instantly. Otherwise, EnVy will just smother him, because that's what has happened. This has flip-flopped both ways, and as we head to the Wasteland night, I mean, look, someone's going to match point here in the Lamborghini Open, and I don't know what's going to happen. This has been one of the best defensive showcasings we've seen in a while from both squads.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true, and especially with offenses that are just so strong. Goals per game, shots per game. I mean, these are top 5 teams in the league, and yet 1-goal games across, a couple 1-0 games as well. So there's, again, a lot of respect between these two teams and what they can do.
Both teams sit very highly in the assist and goal per game categories. Again, EnVy leads both of those, but that just shows you how much of a team effort both of these teams employ to get their goals. And that one is just in from Squishy off the ceiling, and no problem for NRG.
Oh, wow. Justin got it off the back wall. Missed, just not there in time. He was the last man to go, and nobody back for EnVy. And I don't even know if Squishy was trying to score that. He was just at least getting it over Missed. And he's happy to see that one drop in.
It certainly feels like that one was a bit fortunate, but hey, you create your own fortune, and that came off of Justin's win on the back wall. So Squishy finding Justin downfield, but missed. Now he's happy he never had to defend that one, and missed, taking one player out of the game.
Oh, it's in!
And it goes in! Oh, it bounced off the corner and into the net. What?
He just pitched it from his own corner. And what did he do? Justin was there, but he thought it was bouncing out. And there was an opportunity, if he even read that, to make the save. But how could you?
Yeah, how could you blame him for thinking that was going to bounce out?
Wow.
Not at all. Well, if EnVy were upset about Squishy's goal, they can't be upset.
Yeah, I was about to make the same point. It has gone both ways now. And we're back to a tie game.
Things settle for a moment. We'll see if we're in for some more shenanigans. Garrett flips one up, back to Justin. Up high, it's going to be a little too much. Garrett gets right back in front of it. There's just no option for NRG to really make that one work. And Atomic kicks one player out of the way. Squishy got the last laugh. Mist gets underneath, and Garrett was lost twirling in the air as Mist picks up the goal.
I think NRG expected a challenge a little bit sooner, than they got desperate for one, and Justin, his challenge was taken away by Squishy. That's why he's just floating there, and Miss, knowing he has to take a long shot, it's got to be placed in the right spot, and he saw the gap. EnVy double up and take the lead.
Yeah, I saw Garrett get bumped. I saw Justin floating in the air, and just, you mix it up. They're all the same player. Garrett G. Throwing it back down. NRG would love to quickly respond as EnVy did. That's a nice little dump from Justin back to Squishy. Turbo, perfect read for the backboard, but Garrett's right there. Perfect off the crossbar. It wasn't good enough, but Justin will squeeze it in. NRG tie it up.
Oh, that was a shame for EnVy because that was a fantastic read from Turbo. Unfortunately, nobody was up from NRG, and they missed an Atomic get tied up a little bit. That ball going over Atomic, and Justin to dunk it home. NRG just waiting to see what EnVy does with that ball, and they take advantage to tie it up.
NRG channeling a little more chaos magic in the blue half. That might be a little more in the tank. Garrett sees an opportunity. Oh, the crossbar and bounced out by Turbo Pulsa. What are some of these saves? These bounces off the crossbar, insane.
And he had to do that. He had NRG right behind him, and still a dangerous chance here. Garrett's going to try and get over Atomic. He does. Squishy going to put a shot on target. He will put it home, and NRG take the lead.
EnVy were scrambling on defense. Garrett made that almost impossible for Atomic. He had no boost. There was no chance for him to recorrect, and unless his flip is perfect off the wall, well, that goal is always going in from Squishy. EnVy out of sorts, and NRG a quick 2-goal swing.
And that touch off the back wall above Atomic was truly brilliant from NRG, because that bot, that bounce coming out, and it's a world of hurt for EnVy to try and adapt to that, as they would expect Atomic to make that touch.
EnVy trying to patch up. We approach the halfway point on Wasteland Night. Atomic rips one, little wide, and Squishy will kick it back out towards the side. This got no boost, but just being there is enough to force Squishy to try to play it over him. Still NRG progress. Missed. Next up, he's also working on no boost. And Atomic will happily carry this one out. He punches Justin out of the way, and all of NRG get knocked back into the corner. Happy to get a clear back over to the blue half.
A lot of solo play attempts coming out from Atomic that just have not been fruitful. And for NRG, they're happy to see it, as he has not been able to get under the ball that well. But here's one as he dribbles it across, and maybe Turbo Pulsa can convert. NRG feeling a lot of pressure. Miss calls off Turbo Pulsa, takes an awkward shot, but still gets good power on it. And he'll take away the boost, but a huge dunk from Justin will earn himself downfield, as Turbo Pulsa has to make up for it.
EnVy were really looking good on that push, too. They had NRG playing laterally on defense, but now they have to play back on the blue half. And Justin has the edge secured. Pass down in front of Garrett. And Turbo Pulsa is there again. Squishy there quickly. And Turbo is there again. Atomic, he misses the ball. Another shot missed. Can play it back over to Atomic, but Turbo Pulsa.
What a monster. And for NRG, heartbreak to take a 2-goal lead here, but still, it's an awkward ball for EnVy, as this one's going to come out to Squishy. Atomic, though, does well to get by, and it's an open net for Miss, and they equalize with just over a minute left.
EnVy get a favorable transition off of a big win. Squishy tried to play it, but he did not respect Atomic. He thought he could get back up to that challenge, and Atomic got the last laugh on that touch. EnVy, well, how about that to tie it up by Atomic? But I'm still thinking about Turbo on defense, Corelli. Somehow making those 2 crucial saves, because that would have been massive insurance from NRG, but he's the sole reason that it wasn't 4-2.
Staying huge inside the box right when EnVy needed him the most. But they need one more goal to take the lead in this one, and to take the lead in the series if they were to win it. Squishy trying to make sure that can't happen. Missed. Caught between the challenge and the pinch. Atomic trying to make his way through the midfield. Garrett with a good challenge. NRG's challenge game might pay off here. It's Justin, now Squishy. Didn't have a lot of options as they'll bring it down.
Atomic, next catch, but Turbo on the follow-up picked up every small pad he could just to get back to that. Now missed, forced into a tough spot. Atomic racing back, and he will get there first, but Squishy will grab the boost and steal the ball away for NRG to push back forward. Time running out.
No.
Turbo, that's a huge miss. And in front, Squishy can't get the ball, but up, Garrett actually down, and Justin can't push the ball forward. So after a botched transition, EnVy can't get another shot. NRG won it, and they can't get it. We're in OT.
Couple of huge challenges for NRG here in this game. The challenge game has certainly gone in their favor in this game, in game 5 in particular, as EnVy have struggled to get out of their own end because of those challenges from NRG. See if it pays off here in overtime.
Squishy Trying to feather that boost just to make sure he can keep it killed and not give EnVy a free clear or a pinch the other way. Garrett also trying to force Mist off the ball. Oh no, Squishy. He's happy that he adjusted behind him, but that was potentially dangerous. Now Turbo, low on boost. His wingman got demoed, Atomic, and here comes NRG again to the blue half.
Looking for that space, but immediately cut out by Mist, and that's what we want to see more of for EnVy. They've been able to cut out NRG early on in this series, but not here. Justin has a little bit of space to work with, picks up full boost. It's given away to Mist. This one popped up to Squishy, has options to his right. We'll take it to Garrett, looking for the back wall, but met by Atomic.
Mist ready for it, and Turbo's just gonna have to wait for a return from Justin. Turbo all over it. And EnVy, very wide rotation here in the orange half. They'd love to just protect the edge against NRG as much as possible, but NRG pushed forward on a couple of solid challenges. Garrett knocked away by Turbo Pulsa. Every time Turbo's behind it, sans one whiff, he's been clutch.
Yeah, he's been huge for EnVy here. 4 saves, and that's the only stat he's got on the scoreboard. And hold on a second, could have the game-winning goal, because that one was turned wide, but I mean, that's what you want from a player like Turbo Pulsa. That defensive stand has been huge for EnVy.
We've come to a standoff in overtime. Turbo not wanting to let NRG stay in the blue half for longer than a second. Turbo again pops this one up high, but Mist has to wait for Squishy. Bit of a scrum in the corner. Again, NRG do not want to play in that corner, but they all get caught up in it. Atomic slips it back around, missed the shot, denied, but too committed. And Turbo's going to have a free look. He pops it off the ceiling, back over to Atomic. Atomic on the catch, taken away by Justin, but Atomic still behind it. Works his way around.
Oh, he got him.
Turbo Pulsa. Atomic puts it up on a golden platter, and EnVy take the game.
Weaving his way through NRG, and that last touch is a death sentence for Garrett on the challenge, and EnVy will take the lead, take the game, and they'll jump in front here in the series.
Well, you said it at the crux point of this game, Corelli, that Atomic, he had been going for a couple of solo plays about halfway through the game to get EnVy back in it, and it just wasn't working out for him. But how about a playmaker to end that one for him and to get his team on top to send it to match point?
Well, hey, what about that for Mist? What about the saves for Turbo Pulsa as well? Everything came together in a very, very close match here between these two teams. And EnVy had every player step up, right? You had Turbo Pulsa on the defensive side of things. You had Mist on the defensive side of things as well. Atomic with 3 assists and dishing it up to his teammates as well. So for EnVy, everyone contributing here to take this win.
And despite 12 shots on net for NRG, I really didn't feel like they could stay in the blue half for more than a couple of seconds. EnVy's transitions were so brutal that NRG, they get a push or two, maybe a shot on net, but then they'd have to refuel and try again. And they didn't have the passing that they had. They don't have the space that they had back on Manfield. And EnVy, one game away from taking the Lamborghini Open. Can they close it out here on Neo Tokyo? Or does NRG got one more game left in the tank? Turbo, well, he won't get the goal there. Oh my goodness.
And that's just, hey, that's a great example of just how on the same page EnVy are. In those tight spaces, the fake from Atomic, Turbo just rotating out and says, hey, I'll pop it up for you. And everything coming together there. Unfortunately, the shot didn't end. NRG finally got back behind the ball. But just funny to see how well EnVy worked together, even in that little tight space in the box.
Caught by Garrett right before he got deleted. Turbo's got to look at the net. Atomic screening across Justin, but he's not phased and gets a solid clear. Mist races back, and he will actually get the win in the corner.
Oh, he might go all the way.
Ooh. Turbo will get a shot. It's a little wide. But again, that touch just puts it a little far away from NRG, and it doesn't burn them that time, but Justin's got no boost. He's still got the catch, and Turbo runs in front of it. I think there's like 2 of Turbo Pulsa on the field right now. I don't know how he just gets back, takes away the play off of awkward situations for his teammates, but he's there again. Here's a shot, but taken away by Atomic.
Great dunk from Atomic. Even with Garrett leaving that ball for Justin, Atomic still got the read. And here comes NRG again. The pass over to Garrett. He can be contact, but Mist cuts it out. And EnVy on the transition will be slowed down by Justin.
Well, that's why the passes haven't worked, right? EnVy blocking all of them. They have read the book on NRG passing, And they are astute. But how much longer can this go for NRG? They have to find a way to mix this up. They were getting physical early on. Garrett, they are trying to make it awkward on defense. They try to put it away into space, but there's either a follow-up ready or it's just not enough and EnVy have too much boost.
Oh, great work here from Garrett with just the boom ball from EnVy. Gets by two, kind of slips in between them, and he gets down the sideline. Now Justin, he can take over and miss. Gets back to make the save. Squishy looking for a second touch. It's going to be dangerous here for EnVy as Garrett blasted off the back wall. Justin with the shot, and NRG jumping the lead.
And try as they may, Turbo couldn't get to that touch. That win from Garrett was crucial, and Mist was frozen on the back line. Atomic trying to get to the challenge, but just a half step too slow on each push. NRG finally break through that EnVy defense.
And I don't even know if Garrett expected that much power from the undercarriage of his car. I think he was trying to get a flip reset or at least control with that ball next to him. But instead, it comes off the back wall, works out. And here comes Mist for EnVy, trying to make the difference. He's going to get under Garrett, and I think he got a piece of it, and so Mist, his attack will be slowed down. Is it still dangerous? Turbo trying to push it through off the crossbar, and NRG still holds strong.
While NRG have played some good defense, and know they're going to need more of it. Or maybe a goal or two more to really start to pat this lead. Certainly wouldn't feel comfortable against EnVy in a 1-0 game. Mist forces the challenge, and Turbo almost caught him out. But Justin got the save, and now Squishy's got the transition. Missed every small pad on the way. Helps afford him get this next save, but Squishy can't force Atomic off the ball. Atomic blows through two NRG players. Justin hoping to get a clear. It runs into Mist with no boost.
Atomic wanted options there, didn't get it, and NRG are happy to just blast this one downfield. A little read check on Turbo to see if he can hit there, as he does, and Mist blocks the next shot. Here comes Justin, quick on the draw, gets the back post, looking for one more. Garrett's shot denied by Atomic in the box, and NRG forced to go back.
But EnVy still have to defend Squishy. He got the flip reset, bumps Mist out of the way. Turbo's follow-up too quick for Garrett G. Atomic already up for the ball, and Justin knows it. He has to face Turbo. He actually beats him as Turbo went for the dunk. Now back downfield, NRG. The shot from Garrett, underneath off the post. The shot is in for Squishy, and NRG take the insurance.
Brilliant, and I mean brilliant touch from Garrett. He recognizes that both players were sitting on the back wall. That bounce shot absolutely ruins them. And for Squishy to come through and put it away, massive brain from Garrett to put them in a tough spot, and a 2-goal lead now for NRG.
This has the looks of a Champions Field appearance if EnVy can't figure it out in the next minute. Turbo swings back around, forces the ball underneath Garrett, and Mist rips it back over to the side. Full tank of boost. Mist got the first, but can't get the second, taken away across the corner.
And NRG looking to hold on, but going to be without some difficulties here, and they're going to be tested at least one more time. You can feel it with the way EnVy has been playing throughout this series, and this could be it. Mist trying to get it across, and it won't happen. NRG still struggling to hold possession to get out. Mist will whip around. He'll take it himself. He's got the boost to do so. Flip reset for Mist, looking for more. Atomic's there, and denied by Garrett.
Well, the options are there for EnVy. They have the space to get a little creative, but NRG just close off that last option. The shot that matters. Now Mist has Atomic downfield. He might get him, but Atomic's got forced off the ball. And Turbo, he's the last man back, but he was playing immediate danger zone. Atomic up high, forces the ball across, and this is too much time wasted off the clock. NRG have stunned EnVy in Game 6, and we head to Champions Field.
11 shots for NRG. The offense really kicking up a notch for NRG here, and well-deserved. I mean, Jarvie, are you serious? Did we really think it was going to go any other way? We're going to Game 7. Come on, man.
The way this has gone today, this has been an insane regional. At the start of the day, NRG versus Rogue, I'm like, I'm not sure it could get faster or more brutal than that. But then the semifinals happened, and that was ridiculous. And now here we are again, another 7-game set. And I personally wouldn't want it any other way whenever these two teams meet. This has been exquisite from both teams. I'm having a blast.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I think if you thought this was going to anything short of Game 7, you're kidding yourself. These are world-class teams here in North America, and they have been fun to watch. And it really has truly been a bit of a chess match. You know, this isn't like a super chaotic game. There's a lot of smart plays happening. And again, I said it in one of the games, it's the little things that matter. And, you know, having a bounce shot instead of instantly taking on target, those are little things that set yourself apart to earn yourself a win here in this series.
Now, Game 7 for Champions Field. Who will take it? They have both been here so many times, and I hate to do it. I know there's going to be groans out there, but I have to say it. Turbo Pulsa on Champions Field. You can't let Turbo go to Champions Field. And I know it's not fair because NRG, they had to win Game 6. I get it, but that's all part of the big brain Turbo plan, man. So as we get underway, we'll see if NRG can hand him another L on Champions Field.
And I mean, you can go either way on this one, like you're saying. I think the difference would be who could prevent each other's offense the most, because both sides have taken advantage of each other at some point here in this series. Who brings it in the final game?
So far, it's EnVy and Atomic getting a shot. The Turbo Pulsa, good luck saving that one. 1-0 EnVy.
And you could tell that one was going to go in. That's a great fake from Atomic to just knock it back out to Turbo Pulsa as well. And you could see Justin pushed up to get up after that ball, but just didn't recognize that Turbo had a clean shot and off the crossbar and in. EnVy, 3 shots on the board and 1 goal to show for it.
Atomic, grab the boost in midfield. Atomic through the net. No, he didn't. It was saved by Justin somehow.
How did he do that? Coming out of nowhere to make a massive save, but they're going to need it again. Here comes Atomic, and Justin once more makes a beautiful read as he fights for it on the EnVy side. Turbo almost trying to go towards his own net, gets out of there. Squishy trying to make it through the defense of EnVy. He'll be stopped. Back to the midfield we go.
Garrett punches it back downfield to buy some time. Garrett takes it himself. He was given the rebound, and he'll take the whole cake.
Beats Turbo. Turbo just wanted the boost, but then he lands on it, and Atomic just didn't get contact on it, leaving the net wide open. And for Garrett, an easy shot for him to put away to find the equalizer.
No, NRG don't have to sweat too much in a 1-goal deficit. And here's another look for Squishy. Looking for the read on Mist, but Mist played it too far out for him to get back to. Atomic in the perfect spot to push the ball back downfield. Grabs the boost as well, but can't push the ball forward anymore. It's okay for him if he has Mist behind him, and Turbo is forced back to midfield.
Again, Turbo, and really anyone from EnVy, very scary on that back line of NRG. Turbo trying to find some more space. It's just making it awkward for Squishy, and he will do so. But Squishy does well here to get through the midfield, met by Mist, and he's stalling out a couple challenges. Now Turbo, again on the back line, takes the shot instantly, but turned away by Garrett.
So many times EnVy are forced to the corner, but they end up winning that challenge on the back wall, and that's forcing NRG to be really judicious with how they approach those challenges in the defensive corner. They can't give EnVy too much space to push forward with how successful they've been in the challenge game. They have to be careful as EnVy starting to win these more and more. Atomic, just like that, Mist will punch it in.
And you could probably feel how many times EnVy were getting to the back wall of NRG. One of these opportunities was going to find its way across the box. That time it's there, and Mist perfectly positioned to put that one away.
Well, EnVy with half the game to go. Can they retain a lead, or will NRG be able to respond? Turbo flips it right over, and Turbo Pulsa again. How does this get through?
And what happened to NRG? Both Justin and Garrett there, and Squishy just, I guess, didn't expect that much power. Yeah, I guess. And that much power from Turbo as well. 3-1 for EnVy, and NRG, they have their work cut out for them.
They have time. They just got to stop the bleeding now. Garrett flips it over one. And Garrett gets the demo. Squishy blocked by Atomic off the back wall. Garrett gets the bump, but Justin shot too light, taken away by Mist.
Man.
On the turnaround, Mist back to Atomic. The shot is on, but Squishy is there to block it. And NRG will keep the scoreline 2 deficit.
And Just when you think NRG had the huge opportunity, EnVy steps up. Here they come again. Justin surely puts it away, and they're within one.
It's a dream scenario for NRG right here. You have Justin sitting wide, and he's perfect. Turbo's turned the wrong way. That means Justin is going to get a free pass in front of the box and get to put it wherever he likes. And he does what Justin does and puts it right where NRG need to. Now only one down for NRG.
I get another one here. Justin almost able to beat the last man in EnVy. That would have been trouble for them. Still, this one is going to pitch just wide of the net. Turbo's got to make the touch, and NRG, well, they don't have anyone pushed up that far. That's not the best touch. He sets up miss. Can he get back down to it? Justin again having to make a second touch to push it towards the midfield.
Oh, and Atomic swipes that boost away, forces NRG back with Turbo's challenge. Garrett can't really squeeze the ball forward. Justin has to let it go for Squishy. Squishy wants to move downfield with pace. Garrett will be next up, but the rotation a little broken here, and Mist will have the catch. Oh, he gets right over Justin. Squishy will kick it back. Atomic kicks it down. Every touch for NRG is more work on top of work. Here's the shot for Mist, and Justin picks up the save. Atomic flips it back around, gets bumped out of the way, and Garrett will take control for NRG. Can he find Justin? He can, and NRG, now they stop EnVy again.
1 minute remains, and NRG have certainly had the opportunity to find the equalizer, but it might come here again. Garrett getting a couple touches. That's a good dunk over to Justin, but Atomic there to turn it away.
Squishy needs to win that challenge, and he did, but Turbo got to the ball first against Justin. Garrett gets the first touch, but he can't get back to it. Missed. Forced to clear it out. Turbo misses him, but then Mist makes up for it with a massive clear for EnVy. A couple more clears for EnVy, and they'll be the Lamborghini Open champs. But here comes Squishy. He's got Garrett in the middle, taken away by Atomic, cutting off every single pass. Atomic, no shot. Justin takes it away. NRG, about 2 good pushes left on Champions Field. Garrett pops it up, but Justin can't go. Turbo all over midfield.
Last chance for NRG if they could even get out of their own side. It's Atomic just beating all the players. He doesn't have to do much here. Just push it across. EnVy keeping possession for so long. NRG now 0 seconds from their own back wall, and they've got to go the distance. Atomic will kill it. And EnVy take the regional in 7 games.
It's raining Lambos for Team EnVy. They take down NRG in 6 and take the Lamborghini Open in our final regional in the spring split. But that was a thriller. That had, we always say that had everything. It had a little bit of everything. It didn't have, like, you know, a crazy like double flip reset, double tap, twirly, 380, no scope, but like
we don't space. I mean, that's how
there was no space.
They were.
They were so fast. I was thinking they were going to approach light speed, sans supersonic. I mean, come on. I mean, that was a ridiculous match.
No, it was a beautiful match to watch, especially, I mean, with the caliber of teams going up against each other today. This is the expectation, right? We said the last time they met in the final, it was 1-goal games all the way across. That's what we got here again, and that's why you're seeing these guys at the top. It is tough to take each other down. They have to go the distance if they're going to win.
Well, Team EnVy, they take yet another regional. NRG, the grand finalists in this one, but this whole day had crazy matches. Oxygen had a crazy push in the semifinals. They almost took down NRG, and that is just how the cookie crumbles for this one. We're going to send it back to the desk to close out the day.